Rich, a month or so now into pre-season, how's it been going so far?
Yeah, it's been very hard. We've ran them. With the pre-season being shortened due to the early start of the season, we've had to get a fair bit of the conditioning and strength side into them. Not a massive amount of detail in structures and that. It's just about getting the boys fit, and they've bought into it. They're looking good, and just ready to build for the start of the year.
Will that come in the new year then, the kind of focus on the structure side of things, or is it going to be fitness all the way up to preparing for that first year?
A little bit of fitness more or less up to it. We are just dropping in a few areas of system things in markers, online D, as we go along in between the fitness side of things, and doing it under fatigue, which will always be beneficial for the group, because if they can do it under them sort of circumstances, hopefully game scenario, they'll be switched on and very alert to what's needed.
With this shortened pre-season, it's going to be a test of the clubs and how well they have prepared and managed it, isn't it, really, once that season starts?
Yes, I think most clubs will have the same sort of a way of attacking this pre-season, in the fact that it is short. You're not going to get all the ball work sessions that you probably need to start a season, because you need to get them fit, you need to get them robust, you need to make sure that they're ready for games, and physically and fit wise. We've got a good enough group. You look at the group that we've got and the players that we've brought in. Playing with the ball ain't going to be an issue. I don't think attacking is going to be the issue. Making sure defensively we're good. And the physical side, we need to be, up there with the top teams.
Fitness-wise, you're pleased with the position they're in now?
Yeah, certainly. We've had a couple of setbacks, but I think a few teams will have, with illness and that's flying around the country in a way, and it's sort of hit our camp this last week fairly hard. But I'm sure we're not the only team that's having this same issue. So yeah, it's just get on with it. Making sure the rest of the boys that are right to train, training to the best of their ability, and they're coming and looking to get better, which they have been.
In terms of how the groups come together, the new lads integrating in, how pleased are you with that?
Yeah, certainly they've been fantastic. They've bonded really well. The sessions they've bought into. The ideas and the systems that we have shown them and want them to put in place, they've bought into. We're in a really good place at the moment. I'm happy with where we're at. It's leading up to Christmas is going to be tough. We'll probably ease off because we're into games, and as soon as we get back in the new year, we've probably got 3-4 sessions before we're playing our first friendly, and then the week after that we're into it. We're into the season, and it's sort of non-stop from there.
Big part of recruitment were driving standards and things like that. Have you noticed that with the new additions?
Yeah, certainly. I think we've got a bigger group this year, so it helps having numbers within sessions, so help drive the standards a little bit. As a coach, you can sometimes look after them a bit too much and ease off, but with having great numbers, you can push on and kick past the boys that maybe have picked up a little bit or aren't working as quite hard because they've had a tough day at work. But yeah, they've been really good of how they've attacked this pre-season up to now.
Since we last spoke to you, fixtures are out. Does it give you a bit more understanding, a bit more grasp on what the Championship's going to look like next season?
Look, there's always going to be some twist or already, where you're looking at the likes of Salford, Featherstone, what's happening there. We're in a situation where we've got given the fixture lists. Is it going to stay like that? We don't know. I reckon this late in it probably is. So look, we've got a real tasty start in Halifax. The fantastic team. We've had some really good battles with them, and really looking forward to that round one.
And some home games early on as well.
Yeah, we've got a fair few home games early, which always helps. That familiarity for the players, and it's a great stadium to play out. We know the pitch is going to be in great condition. The fans are going to be behind us early doors. So yeah, we're really excited.
Strange to be sat here just before Christmas and talking about things kicking off in just a month's time.
Yeah, like I say, when you put it like that, I think we worked out we're 70% through pre-season already, and it feels like we've only been we've only been in sort of 3.5 weeks. So yeah, it's all been about making sure the boys are fit and strong and ready for contact, ready to play. So we're not picking up knocks early on in the season.
Season tickets flying out. You're pleased with the support that's gathering heading into the season? Yeah,
look, they've been fantastic. There's always been a growth each year, and on the back of last season again, it was a tough year for us. And Championship it's a really tough format. A little bit changed this year in how it goes, but it's always hard. We've got big aspirations of this season with the players that we've brought in. We want to be in that top four. We want to be in them playoffs. We want to be having a shot at trying to win this competition.
Every reason for supporters to be excited and optimistic going into the campaign.
Yeah, certainly. We've done what we've more or less said. I think last year was the only time we sort of fell short on our own team goals, and we wanted top six, and we finished 8th. We sort of dropped off back end due to numbers. This year we shouldn't have that issue. We've got a bigger squad. The club have been fantastic in their investment in what we're doing on the field and also off the field. So yeah, look, it's a really exciting year for us this year. We're all looking forward to it. I hope the fans are, and I hope the gates show that as well and get behind the boys.
And touched on off the field investment, we've got the new gym facility down at County Park. How much of a difference can that make to what you're doing?
Yeah, look, it's going to be fantastic. I think you turn up to an environment like that, you want to be there, you want to train even harder than what you have been. Again, for us, it's always been one of them where it's sort of, we've trained in a football gym, now it's a proper gym. We've got some big weights, the boys can lift really heavy. We've always had an issue of going above head due to ceiling height, so they'll be cleaning, they'll be even struggle to do chins. So they've got the facilities now. The club have invested in the pitch down at the training ground as well, so that's in really good condition. So there's no excuses for us really. They've provided us with all the tools. We just need to go out and perform now when we get that opportunity.